we're all set, Pete? You're good? Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order, the Narragansett School Committee meeting at 7:04. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. And is there a motion to seal the executive session minutes from tonight?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. And we did not take any votes tonight in executive session. So now the best part of the whole meeting, it's time for our showcase. And I'm going to have Dr. Cummings do the introductions.
Thank you so much. And so it is my honor to recognize our retirees this year. First, I will just say a word about MJ, who is not here tonight. And so are you going to speak about MJ, Steve? Yep. So I invite Steve to speak about MJ, who has worked in transportation and maintenance.
I don't think you're on, Steve. Are you on?
No,
There you go. Thank you.
there's too many lights on it.
That's all right.
I just wanted to say a few words about MJ. It was amazing working with her. She was definitely an asset to the district and definitely a asset to the operations of the district. Just a little bit of information about MJ. She served on the PTO for 14 years prior to becoming an employee with us. She was both at NES and at NPS chapter presidents. She started working as a bus monitor in 2007, became a secretary in 2009. Her world changed when she came to work for me. We worked together starting in 2015. She was an employee of the year in 2016, and she survived COVID with us and a lot of changes within our department, and the gratitude that I have for her is amazing, and I miss her. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And so MJ continues to help us out when we need her. She's amazing, and I know stays in close touch with the school system. Next, I'd like to invite up Priscilla McCluskey to talk a bit about Joan Pratley, who is retiring from being our guidance secretary.
Good evening. I'm honored to celebrate Joan tonight. Her impact on Narragansett High School reaches far beyond the walls of the guidance counseling office. Whether she's helping our new students enroll, connecting new students or current students and families with their counselors, processing working papers, or assisting our graduates with transcripts and records, she's always put the students of Narragansett first. Her dedication to organizing scholarships has helped countless students access college and career opportunities, while her deep knowledge of Narragansett's history has made her the keeper of our traditions and stories. She has been the champion of our CTE programs, helping students organize and gain access to college and career-ready opportunities through the application process and the registration process. And she is both a proud resident of Narragansett, and her unwavering commitment to our students has helped shape our community in ways that are impossible to fully measure. Joan, thank you so much for all you've done for the families of Narragansett, and I'm so excited that you get to spend this time with your growing army of grandchildren and great-grandchildren. How many?
12 grandchildren, 3 great.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your years of service, your compassion. I'm going to miss you as a friend, but also as a colleague, and whenever I need the question, why do we do it this way, I'm going to have to find someone else to go to. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I've really enjoyed working in Narragansett, as you all know. It's hard for me to leave. I really have mixed feelings, but it's time. So thank you.
And a big congratulations to both Joan and MJ. We really appreciate you coming tonight and appreciate the kind words, and we wish them well. That is a long time of dedication to the Narragansett school system, and we're grateful, and that's a great way to kick off tonight's meeting. And so we're going to, in a bit, keep the accolades going, but for now, it's time for open forum. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Okay, well, then we're going to keep going with the fun stuff. Right, so it's time for oral reports, and we are going to start with a recognition of our student liaison. And I'm not sure, Pete, did you want to say a few words?
I sure do.
Oh,
So
great.
I
Okay.
don't get to talk about Hannah enough. So Hannah has been just an amazing student representative to the school committee. And so it's a position that you can often find yourself in awkward spaces as you're trying to take input from your classmates who can often have strong opinions about what's happening within the school system, and then work with the school administration and the school committee to try to address issues that are important to students. And so throughout it all, I have been admiring the way that Hannah both takes her reports and makes them both topical, timely, but very focused on things that matter for kids, and at the same time has been able to advise the school committee on many issues throughout the year. You know, one of the things I got to celebrate with Hannah is she was awarded the Crowley Award Scholarship from the Rhode Island School Superintendent, so we're very proud of her. And, you know, when I was speaking about Hannah then, you know, one of the things that comes out about Hannah is that, you know, she's so insightful, has a great sense of humor, but also a real great sense of connection and calm to others, and that really has shown through at the school committee level. So you will be very missed, and you are creating a great legacy, and it will be a very difficult act to follow. So congratulations on all you've done.
And I just want to echo that as well. It's been a pleasure to have you on the school committee. I hope that you found it interesting and rewarding as well, but we really appreciate everything that Pete said. And, you know, it's a serious time commitment during one of your busiest school years. So we certainly recognize all the competing demands you have as a senior, and, you know, the work behind the scenes to, as Dr. Cummings said, to gather input. But we loved your reports, exactly like Dr. Cummings said. Interesting, topical, timely, succinct, clear, but just, you know, just a great read. And we know you're going to do great things, and we really enjoyed, and we appreciate, and we thank you. And I have a small gift from the school department, and I'm sure Miss Lauren would like a picture, and you will guide us in our picture taking. But congratulations, Hannah. This is for you. And before we do the picture, did you want to say anything before we do our picture? Okay.
Well, thank you all. This has been an incredible experience. I've learned a lot, and it's been so awesome to see like the decision-making process and what happens at our school from kind of a behind-the-scenes point of view. And thank you all for being so welcoming to me. It's been great. And thank you to my family who has watched every meeting on the TV.
All right, Lori, okay.
All right.
And we really appreciate you all coming as well. So Hannah's going to stay, but you obviously are welcome to stay or, make a quiet exit, go out to dinner without her and come back and pick her up there. So, and Dave did have one quick question.
Yeah, well, first off, Hannah, thank you very much for the year, and good luck in South Carolina. My question is, when do we find out who is going to be our student representative for next year?
I think we can do the big reveal.
Okay.
Yes?
Does
Are
the
we all set?
person know that they've been selected, or is this going to be breaking news?
No, I believe the person knows.
She knows she's been selected.
And,
Yeah.
okay, and they accepted?
Yes, she did.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yeah.
Then now the big reveal.
So Carly Dollarhide will be our next school committee representative, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. All right, we're going to do school reports, and not to change the order, let's go youngest to oldest. We'll do elementary school, then the peer school, then the high school. I don't want to mess up the order here. Why change it up now? So, elementary school, good evening. I almost said good morning. Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for having us, and it's, of course, a very busy time of year. My head is spinning from everything that we've been doing, from field trips, field days, parent groups, pizza paloozas. It's just been wild this month. So we're very happy. I'm very proud of our staff and our students. We've accomplished a lot this year, and we're already getting ready to work on next year's planning. So without further ado, I do want to share with you some special highlights. Tuesday, I had a kindergarten student, Mackay Holmes, be principal of the day with me. It stemmed from back at our beach blanket bidding auction, and she was only 3 when her parents bid on it. And so we waited till she was 5. It was a lot better, but all day long. And it was really fun and exciting. She got to wear a badge that we made for her that matched us with the little NES. She and I matched clothing. You'll see pictures. Lauren will be posting them hopefully tomorrow. She visited every single classroom. She gave book coins from our book machine to students. She had a meeting with Superintendent Cummings, a lunch meeting. We just had her going all day long, and it was so fun. And I just can't tell you how exciting it was to have her all day do that with us. She made the morning announcements. The kids made a big deal of it. It was just great. So we have to do that again, maybe next year. I also want to say a huge amount of gratitude goes to our PTO. We have a whole PTO leaving and a new PTO coming in. I want to mention that Stephanie Patton, Kim LaBarber, Megan Pavone, Stephanie Caldwell, and Nicole McCoy have spent countless hours fundraising, planning events, and really making our school community an amazing place for all of the students and parents, and teachers. And our new PTO board will be for President Taylor Booth, Vice President Julia Barnes, Secretary Rebecca White, and Treasurer Christy Lado. So they're going to, mentor them and help them along, but we're very grateful for everything that they've done, and we're looking to continue on all the good work. They did make all the last arrangements for the playground, and they did hit their fundraising goal, so we're happy to that, and it's going to start being done, I believe, the middle of July. So it'll be ready for when the kids come. So we're very happy with that. We've been planning on transitioning our 4th graders. We've had many transition meetings. They were able to go to the peer school and visit the peer school to see what middle school looks like. Stephanie Mezzanotti and Emily have come over and talked with the kids and met with the kids, and we've spent a lot of time preparing them. We also started showing them what it looks like to have grades as a pair. We don't typically give A, B's, and C's or number grades. So they just got a flavor of that. They switched classes a little bit to see what it's like to switch classrooms and teachers. I think they're ready. Tomorrow's their moving up ceremony at 11 o'clock. And it's just hard to believe that these are our kiddos that were in preschool COVID time. This was my class. So they were my first class when I started back as the principal. So I'm kind of excited for them. We had our Bright Stars visit official. They finally showed up to monitor our program. They came on May 28th and June 2nd. We're still waiting to hear the results. They said it typically takes about a month to get results based on their observations and looking at our portfolios and all of our paperwork. So we were hoping to hear by tomorrow, fingers crossed. Our teachers worked very hard, along with Tracy McCallig, to prepare for the visit, and I think we're always going to be prepared for the visit now that we kind of know what to expect and how to move forward and take feedback and how to put action plans in place. So both Tracy and I are excited to hear about the results, as are the teachers, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do really well. We'll wait to see. Other than that, you know, I wish you all a happy summer. I hope my families and students have a great summer, and I will be available all summer long at the school if anyone has any questions. So thank you, and if anyone has questions.
Any questions right now?
Yeah, that's great. All right.
Do they arrive unexpectedly, or do they give you a time period? Or
They
an
give us
exact
a
date?
window of 2 weeks, and they can show up, and usually they come in the morning. So yeah, within 2 weeks, they give us a time frame. So they did come 2 separate times. In the past, 2 people came and did 1 day. I don't know if they're short-staffed, but they had 1 person come 2 days this time. And we didn't know even when the second day was, so.
And you'll let us know.
Absolutely, absolutely. As soon as we know, you'll know.
Keep all our stars.
I hope so. So thank you for your support, and, you know, have a good summer.
All right, thank you very much. All right, on to the peer school.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. I'd like to highlight a few things for the end of the school year in the month of June. We had a lot of field trips going on, but one that I want to specifically highlight was Mrs. Mulcahy's class visited Casey Farm with her few students, and they went and visited with former teachers Nancy Pasante and Janet Stone, who volunteer at the farm, and they learned about farming and helpful livestock, which was very good for them. And we've had a lot of positive returns from that. We hosted the Rhode Island State Police recently. Their cyber crimes unit came out and spoke to all of our students about internet safety and the appropriate use of technology just in time for summer when the kids are going to have their phones out and about. Our field day was on the 11th, and we had the return of the MPS Spirit Squad. So a small group of students did cheers and a dance routine that kicked off the day, and they was filled with inflatables, field games, picnic lunch. We had Barron's donate ice cream, and we had lots of grade level activities that day. We wrapped it up with a whole school pep rally featuring musical chairs and grade level tug of war, always a favorite. I can report to you that the teachers did beat the 8th grade students again this year. Always looking to do that. To go back to Barron's, you know, we led up to that field day with a PTO Barron's ice cream create a flavor contest. So students submitted an original flavor. We narrowed it down for each grade level, and the whole school voted, and the winner this year was Rachel Swizz, a grade 7 student whose creation was Mocha Caramel Brownie. It's a coffee ice cream with caramel swirl, fudge swirl, and brownie pieces. It was also featured at Field Day, and you might see it in Barron's. I don't know if they featured it there the following week, but they definitely made 5 batches of that. So, and I want to say thank you to our PTO. Mindy Kerr, our president, is stepping down. Her student is moving up to grade 9. And Monica Miley is moving into the position of president. Meg Pavone is staying as treasurer, and Carly Rivers is staying on as secretary. So that was great. We also at the Peer School had Principal of the Day and Dean of the Day. So student Judith Dunn was principal, and student Casey Dollar. You got me thrown off with Carly earlier. Casey was the dean of students, so they did various activities. It was right after field day, so they gave us some feedback on field day. They met with teachers. They did some organization of some of our materials and got all prepped and ready for the following year with those. So grade 8 is ending the year in the way that they do. They recently visited Camp Watchog for their grade 8 field trip, and that was a huge success, and it's a place that they definitely will be returning to in the future. Tonight, they're at the Towers dancing the night away, so I'll be going over there momentarily after the meeting, and tomorrow we promote 69 8th graders up to the high school level. So lots of exciting things going on at the Pierce School, and thank you for a great year, and I hope you guys have a great year, as well as my families and students. Questions? All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have fun tonight. All right, on to the high school.
Hello again. We are just wrapping up final exams this week with one more day of makeup exams to go. In the final weeks of school, we saw both our boys' lacrosse team and baseball team make it to the semifinals in the state competition. We celebrated our seniors at Senior Scholarship Night. We had prom at the Dunes Club, and we also had a senior barbecue where we had Barron's Ice Cream come, and we also had Dell's come. And we also had Gansett Pokey as a food truck. Additionally, we celebrated all grade levels at our academic awards night in late May, and our juniors and seniors participated in Physics Olympics, which is an annual event held on campus and in the surrounding neighborhoods. We also saw our new Marine Professions CTE program take a field trip out with the DEM, where they caught over 30 different kinds of fish. It's been an excellent year with so many highlights. I would list them all again, but it would just be my graduation speech over. As we move into summer, we're looking forward to welcoming the class of 2030. Fall sports will officially begin on Monday, August 17th, and freshman and new student orientation night will be held later that week. Parents will be getting an email from me in the first week of July finalizing that date. Thank you all so much for your support in my first year. Are there any questions? Thank you. Great job, Hannah.
Yep.
And Peyton.
Yeah, all right.
Graduation was incredible. I also was able to eat some of the fish that was caught by the Marine program. My son brought home a couple of pounds of scup, so we had fish tacos over the weekend.
Awesome. That's great.
All right. Nice. Okay. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, on to student services, Dr. Denton.
Thank you. As everyone has talked about, transition is definitely a theme for June. We're all working to make sure that students, families, and teachers are ready to move from the next grade. So whether it's a student moving from 4th to 5th, a student moving from 8th to the high school, or a student that's leaving the high school and moving on to our transition academy, we're very busy making sure that we're ready and that students make a smooth transition. I'd like to thank Simone Butterworth. She's our multilingual learner teacher in our district. We're a small district, so we have one teacher. But she is working and spending many hours with the Rhode Island Department of Education working on the new MLL blueprint and making sure that our district is ready and prepared. She updates Gail, myself, and Pete on a regular basis so that we can make sure that the training is ready and that we're in full compliance as that is being implemented by the state. I'd also like to highlight the work of Gail Dandurand and all the coaches and them including me in the coaching cycles this year. I had the privilege of working not only with special educators, but some general educators this year to complete coaching cycles. And one of the really exciting things that came out of it that I thought I would highlight is working with Zach Sarowich, who is an agriculture and a marine professions teacher. We've worked with Connor McCluskey, our principal, to design a new class called CTE Explorations, which is giving some extra time on task for students who maybe are more impacted by their disability so that they can fully access the CTE programs. We're really proud of that next year. The Rhode Island Department of Ed, I've been working with very closely along with our legal. Rhode Island general law, our legislators passed a new law in 2024 that goes in place July 1st that will change some of our practices in special education. So I'm making sure that we will be ready and fully compliant to implement that. Our extended school year program is planned and ready to go. We will be having students back from July 7th to July 30th on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in order to make sure that there's not regression over the summer due to their disability. And then I'll share that I was recently elected as the president of the Rhode Island Special Ed Administrators, so I'll be working with administrators throughout the state in the field of special education over the next 3 years. Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions, but just the two things. Congratulations, that's amazing news to be elected by your colleagues as the president of the state association. That's a big deal. And they made a great choice, and so congratulations on that. And then awesome, yep. And then the CTE exploration course is really exciting. Like, that's a very innovative, great idea. And I wonder if we're one of the first districts to pilot that, or I'm sure it's branded and named a little bit differently, but I love it. I think that's great.
Well, Narragansett High School is definitely fully committed to make sure that every student has an opportunity to be challenged in whatever course they'd like to participate in. And then it's our job as the educators and administrators to make sure that we make it accessible. And so under Connor's leadership, that's been really easy at the high school. And so it's a lot of fun because we can kind of brainstorm things to make sure that there's new opportunities all the time.
I think that in the CTE exploration program, which sounds great, do they get to sample each of the programs?
So they're already our students are already participating in the CTE programs, but we sometimes find that there's some students who could use a little extra time or some pre-teaching or reteaching of concepts. And so that allows them, when they're participating in the class, to already have an understanding of vocabulary or specific skills, but in a smaller setting outside of their CTE class.
Okay, so they're already in one of the programs?
Yes, we don't want it to be a replacement. We wouldn't want to have a special education only program. So what this is doing is really supplementing and giving them the extra support and services and instruction that they need, so they can be fully immersed when they're participating in their CTE programming.
And my other question is, how is our preschool enrollment looking?
Oh, Lisa did you talk about it? Come on up, Lisa. I said to Lisa, are you going to talk about preschool? I always talk about preschool. Yes, you did.
So, we have a great enrollment. We're full, basically. We have some spots held for our early intervention kids that come in, but we're booked for 7 classrooms.
And do we have a waiting list?
No. No, we do not.
Not yet.
No. It's not like, I think we're doing such a good job at catching people now. Everybody knows about the program, but we're pretty booked.
Great.
Yeah, it's great.
Excellent. Any other final questions for Dr. Denton?
That
CJ?
exploration program, is it the teachers or current staff that's helping them?
Yes, we were
That's
able to
amazing.
fit it into one of our CTE teacher and special education teachers' schedule. And then the students' paraprofessionals will also join, so they'll also be given that special instruction so that they can help students be fully integrated.
And you're organizing that too?
As part of the coaching cycle, I have to give all the credit to Zach because I met with him, but he had done so much work on his own. He's designed the entire class. It will be a pilot for this next year, but then as we do the courses for next November, December, whenever we do that, we'll have something more formal in our course selection guide.
That's awesome. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you very much. We are on to school committee reports. Does anyone have a report to give? Diane?
Tammy and I, as the policy subcommittee, met via Zoom with our superintendent to review the changes to the wellness policy, the updated wellness policy that we'll be discussing later on tonight. And Principal McCluskey and I interviewed the candidates to replace Hannah. And as you heard, one has been selected, but really, if we had selected any one of them, I think they would have all been very strong candidates. So we're very fortunate in that. And then yesterday, the fifth grade had a field trip to the town hall. They were studying local government, and so Superintendent Cummings hosted the meeting and talked about the school committee and what we do. And then the town manager came and talked about his job, and then he had all his department heads there, and along with the police and the fire chief and so forth. And then at the end, and then I thought that was going to be the end, but it kept going because the students did a mock town council meeting and a mock school committee meeting. And so they were right up here with the timer and going. And then each of the other students were in small groups developing questions to come up and ask on different topics that were suggested to them. So it was a very interesting session, and I think the students really enjoyed it and hopefully learned a lot.
Do you know, is that the first time they've done that experience? That's really awesome.
Yeah, this is the third or fourth time we've done it, and it gets a little better every year. So we're really grateful to the town department heads and town manager, and a couple of town councilors came. So Mr. Dirk and Mr. Colonies came, and so that was really terrific for the kids.
Thanks, Diane. Any other school committee members have a report? Okay. All right, we're on to the superintendent's report.
Great. So I'm not going to repeat many of the highlights, but we're really proud of our graduates, really proud of our system. You know, it's a lot to celebrate as we get to the end of the school year, and a lot of hard work by our faculty and staff to help kids get to this place. And so we're certainly grateful for their efforts throughout the year as well. You know, I do have one highlight that is in process, and I want to thank Gail and John O'Brien for their work on this. So we were invited to apply for a federal grant that is being given for rural healthcare development. And so that is a significant grant that is going only to certain districts in the state. We are eligible because we are partnered with Jamestown, and so they are considered a rural area. And so we are eligible because we are one of their high schools. And so we have proposed an expansion of our sports medicine program to be a sports medicine and rehabilitation professions, particularly focused on physical therapy as a part of this grant. And so Anthony Hassel, Kate Wilkes, Gail, and I, along with John O'Brien, have put together a proposal to expand that program with all professional grade equipment, lots of partnerships with CCRI. We are hoping to partner with URI on that. We're in some discussions with them so that students will graduate with physical therapy assistant, is that right, Gail? Certificate when they graduate from high school. And so more to come on that. Hopefully we will get the grant. It is looking good. And so that'll be an expansion of that CTE program going forward.
Well, that's great news, and then I always love to hear the grant opportunities, too, that we've been really lucky to take advantage of, whether it was for equipment or furniture or anything. So great job, always. You know, it's always a lot of competing demands, and you just hate to miss out on a grant opportunity, especially if it's competitive and, you know, good. Thank you. Any questions at all for Dr. Cummings? All right, well, thank you. All right, we are on to consent agenda. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve consent agenda items CA1B, CA2A, CA2B, and CA2C.
So moved.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0.
I just have one suggestion for Steve to send a magnifying glass with this.
The larger font on the, which handout is that?
This is Steve Gormley's report on all the repairs. and
The
so forth.
repairs, just a larger font request. Thank you.
Or a magnifying glass.
All right. So then we are on to the budget report. Karen?
Good evening. Expenditures for the 11 months ended May 31st, 2026 total $28,496,347, and that's 76.81% of the budget. Expenditures and encumbrances total $33,345,683, and that's 89.89% of the budget. And we only have 1 month left.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Karen? All right, well, thank you. We're on to school committee business. We've got about 9 items. So the first item, is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the first read of the revisions made to the district wellness policy?
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Pete, can you give a quick soundbite?
Sure can. So many thanks to Gail and to CJ for leading this committee. So this is an update to our existing wellness policy. We went through a process of reviewing the policy with a tool from the Rhode Island Wellness Committee Karen Weatherall, and so it was really helpful for us to look for strengths and weaknesses of our policy. And so what you see are some changes based on that evaluation. They're mainly about wording and making clear, for the most part, things that we are already doing but may not have been fully reflected in the policy. And so, for example, one of them is make sure our PE teachers have time for professional learning. Well, that's something that we do on a regular basis, but the policy calls it out so that we would be very specific about it. Following USDA guidelines, that's something that we do. Making sure water is available to students, that's something that we do. And so along those lines, it's just making sure the policy reflects practice so that we don't have changes in the practices that we think are good and working in the way that they should. Gail and CJ, anything I missed?
No, Gail did a great job spearheading a lot of the beginning part of this, and we did amazing job getting people on board, and I think we have more people ready for next year. Well, it's setting up, we have
We have 4 meetings scheduled.
4 meetings
next year.
already scheduled.
Yep, so
to get
we
going.
started in the spring. CJ and I had 2 meetings this spring, and one of our goals was to get the policy revised, as Pete mentioned, and the tool that we used is called the WellSat, and it's used nationally and throughout Rhode Island, and it evaluates policy content, not how the policy's implemented. And as Pete mentioned, they're highlighted in red, but you can see the changes. They're very minimal. They're things that we were doing anyway. Okay, and we'll continue our work with Health and Wellness Committee next year. The last meeting, we used another tool by school to go through how individual schools are going with the health and wellness policy. So next year when we start, we will be able to have the principals and the committees from those schools determine what their goals are for the year. Okay.
I think the policy looks great. Thank you to everyone for their work. Made it very easy for Diane and I with the policy subcommittee after all the work that you did. And it's always helpful when we have a revised policy just to see the updates in red, so also helpful. So I think it looks great. Do any school committee members have any other questions or comments before we vote? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Gail. And thank you, CJ. All right, so on to item number 2. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance administration to approve the purchase of the Savis ELA materials for grades 9 through 12 in the total amount of $44,593.72.
So moved.
Discussion?
So we go through a curriculum review process. So Gail leads that process every year. And, it was time for us to take a look at our high school materials. And so in cooperation with the committee of teachers, we looked at those materials, reviewed them. Jen Loisel, our ELA coach, is really helping people with kind of incorporating more writing within the curriculum. As we rewrote our curriculum documents and looked at that, there is an updated version of the resource that we're using now that we think more precisely hits the content standards that we want to be focused on within our ELA classes at the high school level. We are also focusing on making sure that our students are reading more books, just full books. And so lots of these materials, have selections of pieces, which is appropriate. They have primary sources, they have nonfiction text, but we're also incorporating more full novels or full pieces of literature from across the world to make sure that students are having that experience as well. Gail, anything you would like to add?
So this is really just the revised version of the materials that we're currently using. They did some updates, as Dr. Cummins mentioned. For example, there's an online component that's more friendly for our users who maybe have an IEP or a 504. There's like text-to-speech options. There's updated selections of texts with different points of views. And they have more writing components in this updated version as well. No curriculum material that you purchased is perfect and does 100% of what we want. That's why we work with coaches, and we have professional development days, and we have Curriculum Academy, where we take the resource and we see what components may be missing, and we fold that in so that our students are getting what they need.
All right, looks good. Anyone have any questions?
Is the Curriculum Academy scheduled for the summer?
Yep, so we're starting the 2 days, Monday and Tuesday of next week. We have projects in ELA. Now that we'll have the new materials, we have to, plan with them. ELA, science, social studies, math, and world language and health. So all those academies will go on over the 2 days. My coaches and I will run the academies. Day 1, we'll run a few, and then day 2 as well. So we get a lot of work done during that time. It's very focused. There's a project, and we know what can be completed in that time frame.
Sounds good.
All right, any other questions before we vote? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
On to item number 3, is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and the director of finance and administration to approve the purchase of 29 Promethean active panel interactive flat panels with 5-year warranties from Whaley Computer Associates Incorporated for a total cost of $76,747.35?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good evening. This is a purchase that is, half of it was budgeted for. So during the budgeting season, we budgeted for 11 replacements at the high school and 4 at the elementary school. But now we also have funds remaining from that 21st Century Technology and Equipment Fund grant. I did use some of the money earlier this month, not enough of a big purchase to come to school committee, but we purchased 24 chairs for one of our, not the new lab that we built last year, our other computer lab. So there's still funds remaining. So we're going to purchase an additional additional 14, and these will go 2 to the new CTE rooms and others to replace ones that were scheduled to be replaced this year or the next 2 years, specifically in science and CTE rooms, because that's what the grant is geared toward. So we're just going to take advantage of this because in talking to Karen, the funds need to be spent prior to October. So this is a perfect fit for it, and it will actually save the district money the following 2 years in budgeting because we won't have to purchase those at that time. We'll already have them ahead of time. And they're within that 8 to 10-year window of when we're replacing them anyway.
I just have a quick question.
Sure.
Was there no MPA for these?
Yes, it's part of the PEPM contract, not the master price agreement, but the PEPM National Cooperative Agreement.
And you said they have about a 10-year lifespan?
Yeah, I mean, they normally say 7 to 8. We seem to get 8 to 10. Previously, we did purchase smart boards in the past, and they didn't have the glass screens, so we had a lot of humidity back then, and they just weren't as functional of a product. So these seem to be lasting longer. Like I said, some of these are 10 years old, and you know, they're getting to their life with the technology change, but they've definitely done their job. And the other thing with this is, like always, me and Steve are in collaboration, so we're not paying any sort of installation fee or anything. We're doing all of that in-house. Yep.
All right. Thank you for all your work on that.
Yeah.
Any questions before we vote? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, our remaining items are contract approvals, and we discussed each contract tonight in executive session. We did not take any votes tonight in executive session, so we're going to go through one at a time. So the first one, is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the contract for the district accountant?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. On to number 5, is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the contract for the assistant athletic director and the facilities use coordinator?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. Next, is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the contract for the Narragansett High School athletic director?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. On to number 7, is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the contract for the principal of Narragansett Peer School?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes 5-0. On to the next one, is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the contract for the operations coordinator?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes 5-0. And last, is there a motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the contract for the payroll and the HR coordinator?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And any opposed? Okay, motion passes 5-0. I've misplaced my last page. Is that just the, thank you. All right, whew. All right, are there any communications that anyone wants to mention? All right, and the school committee did want to make a date change, so there's no July business meeting, but we do have our annual workshop, and we would like to move that meeting 1 week later. And so instead of July 15th, we'd like to move it to the following Wednesday, July 22nd. That'll be at 6 o'clock, and that's a public school committee workshop. Okay, I believe that is it. Is there a motion to adjourn at 7:54?
So moved.